welcome once again, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Research Spotlight. So, this is a show where we get to interact with researchers across the globe. My name is Tisha, and today's conversation is with Mr. Kingsley Ahenkora-Duodu, someone that I am so very proud of. Yeah, so Kingsley Ahenkora-Duodu is the national point of contact for Ghana at the Space Generation Advisory Council in support of the UN program on space applications. He is a lecturer at Leeds Beckett University and a PhD researcher in physics and astronomy at the University of Leeds, UK. He is a space enthusiast and the promoter of the World Cancer Rocketry Championship. So many big terms today. He is one of the top 10 under 30 professionals in the African space industry class of 2019, adjudged by the Space in Africa. Kingsley was the lead and event manager for the first hybrid space generation workshop. He is a trained telescope operator and was selected as a science commissioning team member of the African Very Long Baseline Interferometry VLBI network for the Square Kilometer Array SGA project, which has the largest single radio telescope in Africa. Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory, GRAO. He obtained his Master of Philosophy from the School of Nuclear and Allied Science, University of Ghana, and his Bachelor of Science degree from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And I am so proud of him because we are from the same high school, which is Anglican Senior High School. Disciples.
No size.
Yeah, so and I'm from the same department also at Ken University. So
Yeah, we have a lot of things in common, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you so much for joining me here, Mr. Kingsley Ahenkora-Duodu. I know you are very, very busy. You know, we all heard all the things he is into, but he's made time today to share his journey with us. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Sisha, it's always a pleasure to come on. And I mean, I like your zeal. And I mean, when you sit back and you hear all those things people are talking about, you'll be like, oh, so am I the one? Yeah, but yeah, this is the journey so far. And we're still aiming to go higher and higher.
Higher. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. So have you always been a space enthusiast, or this is something that just came along the way?
Anyway, I think I don't know about you, but I know each and everyone wants to. I mean, you want to know more about our universe. I mean, when right from childhood, when I look at the skies at night, you see these stars, and they are very far away from us, and you begin to ask questions that what is up there. I mean, so I was very curious, knowing more. Are we even alone in our universe? And also the religion aspect as well, and the science aspect as well. I mean, science coming up with different discoveries, and the religion is also explaining some different ways. I mean, how creation came about. So, I mean, I had, all these questions to know more about the universe. Yeah, so right from childhood, but over Ghana, it's not what you want, it's what you get. Yeah, so so when I started my journey, right from primary to junior high school to senior high school. I did science, of course, super cast, no size. Yeah, and I completed my first degree, and so I think it was during when I was doing my national service, that was when the interest then increased, the interest to know more about our universe, and the opportunity to also get to be involved in knowing more about the universe also came up. Yeah, so I have a few slides here that I may be sharing with you, and together with our viewers, and I'm sure it will be interesting. I'll talk some few things, so I may just share my slides, and as I go on, if you have any questions too, you can interrupt me anytime. time just to make it conversational as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Kingsley. So, viewers, Kingsley is going to share with us some of the things that he's doing. So, if you have questions, you can go ahead and then ask him whilst he presents his work with us. Okay.
All
So,
right.
yeah, please, you can start.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll be sharing my entire screen. So usually I don't see when I share the entire screen. So just come in and yeah, we will try as much as possible to make it very interactive.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see my entire screen now.
Yes, I can.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so of course, my name is Kingsley Ahenkora-Duodu, and you've talked a lot about me already, so I'll not waste much time. I'll go straight and talk about the summary of what we'll be presenting today, and also be discussing and looking forward to get some questions as well. And hopefully, if I can answer them, if I don't, maybe I'll take note of them then later. Yeah, we go. So I'll talk about my journey so far in the space science and then astronomy. I'll touch a little bit about my research that I'm currently doing, and of course, I know viewers, most of them are from Ghana and they would like to know about the space activities that are ongoing in Ghana and then the research opportunities out there and what they can get themselves engaged in as well. Yeah, so very quickly, um, just about me, I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Leeds in the UK. I'm studying physics and then astronomy. I'm a maths lecturer at the Leeds Beckett University here in the UK. I was also a commissioning scientist. I was selected to be a commissioning team member for the Square Kilometer Array project, and that is the sub project is the African Very Long Baseline Interferometric Network. That is not, I mean, the main aim, so I would not be going detail into that. Yeah, but the Ghana Space Science and Technological Institute, that is the GSST, I mean, play a very key role in the bigger SKA project. So I was working for the SKA South Africa as well as the Ghana Space Science, and I was trained as a telescope operator at the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory. You can see our big dish over here. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
single largest radio telescope in Africa, and that is the
Wow.
Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory. So I was trained here as a telescope operator. I was operating this huge telescope. It is still there, and the good thing is that it can be operated on site and also remotely. So wherever we are, we can still work with this. And we'll be going in detail on what radio, I mean, telescope I use for and others. So I'll just bypass some of these things because we've already touched on them. So the whole interest started from when I completed my first degree and I was doing my internship at the Ghana Space Science. No, I was doing at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. I was with the Radiation Protection Institute. So I mean, my good friend Martin, which I mean, Martin has been on the show before. So he actually called me to inform me about this project, which is coming out with the development in Africa with radio astronomy, um, So it was the human capital development aspect of the Square Kilometer Array project. So the whole idea was to bringing together the new generation of African radio astronomy. So they have other partner countries. South Africa is the host in Africa, and they have other partner countries. And Ghana is part of the African country. Ghana is part of the partner countries. We have other 8 partner countries which are also involved. But we were the first batch to be trained. So they have like the basic training and they have advanced training. So we started the basic training, and that is where I mean we decided to, together with other colleagues, we were selected. 10 people were selected in Ghana, and that was when I mean where the interest actually stems from. Yeah, so I mean during the training they will talk a little bit, go in more detail. They will touch on planetary science. They will touch on the different, I mean, our solar system, that we have the sun, we have our 8 planets, we have the first 4 planets, the rocky planets. They will talk about, I mean, 2 of them don't have moons, others have moons. The gas planets, which that's the other 4 those are very huge planets. Yeah, so I mean all these things. So when you begin to hear most of these things, it's actually encourages you, and you want to know more about
Yeah.
our universe. You want to know. I mean, when will we even? When was the universe? How should I even put it? Like the start of the universe. We want to know how old is our universe. When will our universe die? When will our sun die? So they talk about some of these things. They talk about galaxies. They talk about exoplanets. So some of these things is like there is more to know. And the more we think we know more, the more we know that we don't know more. Exactly. Yeah. So I was selected to be part of this. I was trained as a radio telescope operator, and I've been involved since then, like doing my PhD and learning more about radio astronomy. And because I also love about space science, I was also part of I was selected to be part of the national point of contact for the Space Generation Advisory Council.
Wow.
Talking about research. You need to attend conferences and then workshop. That's
Mm-hmm.
also is a means to know what other people are doing in terms of their research, apart from the networking and making new friends. So these are the few ones that I've captured over here. This one was before my PhD in South Africa, AIM, South Africa. So this was for search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And this was the first in Africa. So I
Wow.
was part of it. And this one was also before my PhD as well. This one was in Ethiopia. And this one was the DARA. So the DARA is the development in Africa with radio astronomy. So they are actually sponsoring my PhD.
Mm.
Sorry, they're actually sponsoring my PhD program over here. We have annual conferences, annual meetings that we meet, then we present our work. So this one was one of the sessions that I was presenting my work, and this was data acquisition and data processing at this one of the United States of America, one of the radio telescope, which is the very large array telescope that I'll be showing you. We try to acquire data and how we process those data. Yeah, now this one was in Belfast, Queen's University, and this was in St. Andrews. I think you gave me 30 minutes, so I'll try as much as possible to be quick enough. Yeah, so I'm talking about conferences. This was one of the conferences that I led as the event manager.
Mm.
That was the fourth African Space Generation Workshop, and the theme was a United Africa for Space Innovation. The step towards our common future. we
Wow.
had a, we have a lot of sponsors and we partner with a lot of them. The good thing is that we had African Union coming on board, and we had a lot of speakers around the whole, the whole globe. Prior to the event, we organized a hackathon competition. I know for now we all know that we are heading towards the computer age. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things going on. It's currently about the big data, machine learning, robotics, artificial intelligence, and all those other stuff. So we selected like 100 delegates from across Africa, and we wanted them to have a hands-on practice on some of the how they'll handle some of these data sets. So we gave them image classification data set. We gave them sentiment analysis of Twitter data for them to work on it, and the winning team were awarded some few prizes for them to attend the event
Mm.
as well. And this conference was not just like the normal conference that you come and
Mm-hmm.
then you go. We're able to collaborate with the International Space University, and they gave out six funding, six scholarship.
Wow.
So our delegates, they applied, and we formed a committee for them to select. So 3 people were awarded space studies program, and also 3 were awarded the Master of Science studies for them to engage at the International Space University. That is something big. This is the first of its kind actually that came on board, because they've been having these events, and this is the 4th edition. We also liaise also with the Mars Moon Aeronautic Academy and Research Sciences in the United States. They also offered 12 full scholarship for our delegates, and they gave unlimited partial funding. The good thing was, I was the event manager, so I have to,
Mm-hmm.
form the team and help in selecting these individuals for them to
Individual.
also get themselves involved in the space science field. Yeah, because we want a lot of people in the same in the field,
In the field, yeah.
especially the ladies. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
this was the settings. We had it in we had this event at the Gempa, yeah, at the Gempa, and we had reps from the African Union coming on grounds, and that was one good thing coming on board. Um, Back from
Wow.
this, so right after this event, I was then acknowledged as the member of the month for the Space Generation Advisory Council. They have this award that they gave, almost each month, and
Wow.
yeah, and that was kind of good. If you have any question, you can just interact me as well. I'm sure when we get
Yeah,
to.
so
Mhm.
yeah, we can see that you have done a lot of great things. And for us from outside, we will see that, oh, Kingsley is doing it. We may not see maybe what really goes on into all these things. So can you tell us some of the challenges that you have faced?
All right. I think most of the conferences and then the events, the main challenge has always been funding. Yeah, and yeah, because we don't look for only. I mean, this event was organized in Ghana, but even and the timing that we organized it was in the COVID era, so it was quite challenging actually. But because we were, I mean, together with a group of young team from Africa, other African countries, we were still we were still eager to make sure that this event should happen face to face. So we decided to have a hybrid event in order to have other people who couldn't attend in person to join virtually. So the main challenge has always been the funding. Yeah, but I think well, this we started very early. We used almost about a whole 1 year to plan this particular event. Yeah, so that was why we were lucky to get most of these funds. But the more of the challenges has always been the funding and the other opportunities. Yeah, but I think one good thing is that there are a lot of challenges out there, but usually we don't want to look at the challenge. We try to look at the opportunities out there. So I
Yeah.
always encourage people who are interested in almost every field that the very first thing is that you need to try and join any association. I mean, you can start from the basics. Sometimes you don't need to just go like the join like the higher body. You can start from maybe if there is any society in your school which they are doing something in space science or astronomy, you can start from there, and that is where you will then get to hear most of this information. Because one of the challenges that people don't get to hear this information when there are conferences out there, when there are scholarship opportunities that they need to apply. If you don't get to hear it, then that means obviously um, you will not be involved in most of these activities. So that will be the main thing. Try to position yourself in these kind of institutions or organizations or societies so that you'll be furnished with most of this information going on. And you also try to get mentors, people, I mean, who are up there, who are doing so much well in the field that you also love to get yourself involved with. And once they are there, they will then be able to also give you some form of encouragement and give you furnish you with some of the information that you will need. Yeah, so these are the few things that we do. Maybe going forward, I'll touch on some of the things that we are doing also in Ghana, and if people are also interested, they can. I mean, these are good opportunities that I'm giving currently because if you want to be part of the Space Generation Advisory Council, it's also free. You can just Google the Space Generation Advisory Council, and you can apply free to be part of I mean the team, and that is where you get to hear most of this information about conferences going out there. They have mentorship programs and all the other stuff that you can get yourself engaged in. They have different projects that they also embarking. And one good thing about space science is that it's actually sprung across almost all fields. Okay, it doesn't matter. I mean, so far as you're a space enthusiast, you just want to know about space, you can just be part of it because we have space lawyers, we have administrators, we have I mean physics people who are doing space, chemistry people who are doing space. We have, I mean, French people who are doing space. It cuts across almost everything. So once you want to get yourself involved, you can easily get yourself involved in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have that requisite skill. That's, I mean, before you can get yourself involved in space science. Once you have you want to know more about space science, you can easily get yourself involved in space science. Yeah. So by organizing this, obviously I was awarded this, and just like you said, I was also um, acknowledged as one of the top 10 under 30 professionals in the space industry together with other colleagues over here. So that's me over here. All right. There are other extra activities that is ongoing that we usually do, and I'm sure maybe some of these things will also answer some of the challenges that we are going that we've been facing as well. So one of the activities that we've been embarking is getting going out to like an outreach. So we are going out to preach about space science, trying to get, like mostly the basic schools people. That's where we want to start from because I mean that is where when they get to know, that is where they have a lot of questions that they need answers and solutions to them. So when we interact with them, their interest begins to develop right from that stage. Yeah, so this one was one of the outreach that I attended together with Professor Ben Stappes from the Manchester University. This one was not, I think it was Kuntunse, where the telescope, where the radio telescope is in Ghana. Yeah, so and there are activities that I've also been involved in. If you come to the UK over here, we have the National Union of Ghanaian Student Association in the England, and I serve as the Media and Communication Secretary. This is one of the events that we organize, a post-COVID job market. And as you said, I serve as the national point of contact for the Space National Advisory Council in support of the United Nations programs on space application. And recently, since I'm also working as the promoter for the World Cancer and Rocketry Championship. I mean, these are not big terms at all. They're not like big terms. Because of our time, I can't go very detailed. But recently did our launch of the first ever student satellite design and build competition in Ghana. We had it in um, the academic city, University College at Hacho, and I mean, we're privileged to have these different speakers coming on board. So I'm working together with a group of people to organize this. And so if anyone is interested in, I mean, joining the space science, want to know more about these concepts, how we, I mean, this rocketry, want to be
So,
more.
what
Mhm.
is CANSAT?
All right. So the whole idea of a CanSat is that we are building a satellite. So it's like a miniature of a satellite, and we call it a can because we are building a satellite that can fill within like the can, like
Hmm.
like the malt can or the Coca-Cola can. So we
Hmm.
are building like a satellite that all its component can fit within that can.
Wow.
So that's just the whole idea of the concert. And this one, I mean, we train some of the kids to even, I mean, do some of these things. So when we are done, we then, I mean, use either balloons or rockets to launch it. I mean, depending on the altitude, then we use it to steady either the temperature, pressure, and all the other stuff that we want to do. We can also either put cameras on to also study some other areas that we want to study as well. Yeah, so depending on the level of people, our target people, I mean, we decide to go more detail, or if it's so this one was for the tertiary
Establish.
level. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this one is one event we've already launched it, and we are using to we are waiting for the actual competition. And I'm sure if we are trying to have like a mini contest between October, November this year, so hopefully we can then go detail. Yeah,
Mm.
so there are lots of things ongoing. Yeah, and of course, this is another event that I was also one of the speaker, and this was careers in the space, in the African space industry. So, I mean, if you learn more about space science, what are the career prospects there for us? So some of these things also go a long way to help people, because if you go out there and tell people and they develop interest, and they don't know the career prospect out there for them, I think it will actually down I mean, it will not increase their interest, because especially in Ghana, when they know that when I'm done with my PhD, what am I doing? Yeah, but we would then go detail and let them know that the skill that you acquire is applicable in almost every field. Yeah, so these are some of the conferences that we do get ourselves involved in. We also try as much as possible to develop the different clubs in the different institutions. So this one was one of the clubs in Kane Westy, which is the Astronomy Club Kane Westy. So we decided to have a joint program with them, and that was the Asare Day 2021. Then we engaged. We had other speakers who were coming on board together, and also there was this African Europe Space Earth Observation High Level Forum, which was organized by the Portuguese presidency of the Council of the European Union, and I was a panel member on that. That was one of the biggest events, and I was privileged to be part of the panel. Now there was a youth panel, and I was part of that youth panel. Also, I represented Ghana during the Global Space Summit 2021, and I presented things that Ghana is happening in Ghana, our space science, where we are and where we are heading towards, some of the challenges and how we are overcoming some of these challenges as well. Yeah, and I think just recently, last month, which is 14th August, we also started the African Remote Sensing Day 2021. And this was another thing. We had different people who came on board to present how they use remote sensing and then the GIS to solve the basic challenges that we are facing in Africa. It was quite fascinating to know that some of them are even using these skills to help solve malaria. Okay, people also doing deforestation, also trying to use it to do in terms of mining, in terms of agriculture, in terms of disasters like fire outbreaks. I mean, it's very fascinating that the skill that we acquire is applicable in most of the field, and that was quite intriguing. Now,
Wow.
yeah. Now, another aspect that I was talking about is the big data and then machine learning, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And that is another aspect about space science. And there's a huge research which is currently ongoing. So if there's anyone who is also interested, you can join us as well. You can see me over here together with my supervisor and other colleagues who we are working on some of these things as well. If you also want to be a researcher, to be part of the of space science project in Africa, which is the Square Kilometer Array and the AVN, the African Very Long Baseline Interferometric Network, that because of our time, I cannot go much detail, but maybe I'll touch a little bit on of them. So these are some of the prospects that are out there that we can apply our research into. Or you can decide to be a lecturer and like me, and also impart knowledge to people as well. Yeah. So I'll then just a few minutes to touch on my research and what I'm currently doing over here. Yeah, so I'm a PhD. I'm in my final year now. Hopefully, I'll be finishing very soon. So this is an object. It's an object called DR21 Ultra Compact H2 region. So H2 means the ionized region. Okay, yeah. So so if you look at this picture, just conceptualize this like a patch on the sky. Okay, a patch on the sky. So just like within every location on Earth, we have the longitude and then latitude. Every location on the sky too has been mapped in such a way that we have what you call the right ascension and then the declination. Okay, yeah. So we use different means to see things that are ahead of us. Yeah. So at night, when you look at the sky, you see some of these bright stars. These stars are very far away from us. They are several light years from us. So just imagine if you are closer to an aeroplane, you see it to be very big. But when this aeroplane begins to, move further away from us, it begins to become smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah. So if we can see some of these stars which are several light years from us, it tells you that they are extremely very huge objects. Okay, some of them are not even stars, some of them are like galaxies, some of them are, I don't want to, to bore you, but some of them are like, there are different objects that we see in the sky. Yeah, so this object is what we call DR 21. So DR is just is we use some notations to just give the names to some of these objects. So it is ultra compact because it is very compact. Okay, it's very compact, and you call it an ionized region. This is an ionized region. Yeah. So this object is a massive star forming region. So when we say a star is a massive, there are stars that are 8 times bigger than that of our sun. Okay, so any star that is 8 times bigger than that of our sun, we term that star to be a massive star. And these massive stars are their very initial formation stages. We cannot see them with our eyes, neither can we see them with optical telescope, because they are obscured by dust emission. Okay, but however, these massive stars, they emit copious amount of ultraviolet radiation, and this ultraviolet radiation, they are capable of ionizing the abundant hydrogen in the interstellar medium. Okay, so when they ionize this hydrogen, then they emit ionized hydrogen, then we can be able to study this emission using this ground-based radio telescope. So this is the very large array radio telescope in the United States of America that we use to study these objects. So this is just the contour plot of these particular objects, and these massive stars, when they emit these copious amounts, that is the very high intensity amount of radiation, they also heat up the dust particles, and we can then study the dust emission as well. Okay,
Wow.
and we use a ground-based submillimeter telescope, or we use space-based telescope to also study some of these things. Yeah,
Okay, so this is also telescope. The one
exactly.
on wow.
Yeah, so this is a Herschel Space Telescope. So this is a telescope which has been launched into space, and we use this also to study objects. Yeah, and
Wow.
these are ground-based telescopes as well, and this is ground-based telescope. Yeah, so we use these telescopes to view different objects. Yeah, so this is one object and is being observed at different wavelengths. Okay, so this is observed at different wavelengths. Yeah, so just like with our eyes, you can see things. Okay, but there are some things that we can't see with our eyes. If you look at the since you are a science, I don't know whether you are a science student, but if you look at the electromagnetic spectrum, okay, we have different radiations. We have, I'm sure you know of infrared, you know of X-rays, you know of gamma rays, you know of microwave. Yeah,
Mm.
all these things are light. They help us to see, but we have the visible that we can see with our eyes. Okay, but we can only see less than 15, or it's only less than 15% that we can see with our eyes. The others we can't see with our eyes. Yeah, so when you go to the hospital and you have a fracture, you go for an X-ray, right? Then you'll be able to see, your skeletons, and then they can be able to locate where the fracture is. Yeah, so all these are means that help us to see. Yeah, so we also try to see using either the radio regime, or like the radio region, or the infrared region, or the X-ray, or the gamma ray, or all the others. So we tried all this is just to try and we want to see things. Okay, so as we are here, our bodies are all emitting radiations in the infrared, so we can then see. With infrared as well. Yeah, so the whole thing is that we try to build instruments that will help us to see it, and we will use complex computers and then programming to be able to visualize some of these objects. Yeah, then the science then comes in. We then decide to then study the temperature, we study the pressure, we study the density, we then study the ionized gas, the motion of the ionized gas. We study its morphology, and we study all these kinds that we want to know. So that is all about our research. And the whole idea is I want to find out how my research is geared towards massive star formation. You want to get a complete statistical evolution of massive stars. So massive stars,
Stars.
yeah,
Massive
these are
stars.
exactly. So these are very huge stars that are 8 times bigger than that of our sun. So you want to know how their birth, how they grow, and how they die. And if they die, how, so all these things, we want to look at the evolutionary sequence of these massive stars. So that is what we are doing. And it's quite
Wow.
amazing to know most of these things. When they die, what do they do? Some of the massive stars, they undergo supernovae that I'm sure you are aware of. They then turn into black hole. Our sun is not that massive, so it will die very silently, and it will turn into a white dwarf. But some of these massive stars, they die violently by exploding hugely to form what we call the supernovae. So we try to study this evolutionary sequence, and also, I mean, that is all that we do. We study stars, and look at
Wow.
some of these things
So
as
does
well.
this massive stars have any correlation or with the climate?
Um, how should I say? I would say because these are very far away from us, and for our climate, we are looking at our solar system. Yeah, but some of
Okay.
these massive stars, if we are looking at massive stars that are within our solar system, they will not have any correlation, direct correlation with our climate change. And
Climate.
then yeah, and others. I think climate change will then be, then we are looking at our planetary system. Yeah,
Mm.
so we look at our planet system, then we look at the planets, because yeah, but these are like so these are massive stars. So it's like if you look at our own Milky Way, this is it's a galaxy,
Mm.
and a galaxy is just a collection of, let's say, dust and billions of stars that are all held together by gravity. So that's just the whole idea of this galaxy, and within this galaxy we have billions of stars. So our sun is just one star. We have almost about 100 billion trillions observable stars. The ones that we don't know, we don't know, but the one that we've been able to observe, we have almost trillions of these stars. Okay, and each of these stars are surrounded by either two or more planets. Yeah, so that means we have more planets than more stars. Yeah, so if we are looking at
Wow.
climate, then and then we'll be looking at just I mean, then come to our own planet. Then we will then look at. I mean, I know climate change has been one of the topmost things going on currently. People want to know what is causing climate change. We're trying to reduce some of the emissions and others, but this
Yeah.
does not have any correlation
Correlation.
with any with climate science. Yeah, but we just try to study our universe, know more
To
about our
understand
universe,
it better.
and to understand our universe better. Yeah, so these are some of the few things that I'm currently doing. I also study beyond some of these things, but because of our time, I just picked up, I mean, some of these few things. And I'm sure our viewers also love to know about what is going on in Ghana space science, and they
Yeah.
want to get themselves engaged in. So currently, we have our National Space Agency, and it's being spearheaded by the Ghana Space Science and Technological Institute. So it is an institute under the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, and they are undertaking a lot of researches. And these are the few ones that they are doing. They do crop monitoring, they do weather and climate research, just like you said. So that is when they use these satellites to monitor. They use weather. Um, so currently they use a weather station, then they predict the weather and others as well. So this is something that the Ghana Space Science there is currently ongoing as well. We have the University of Ghana too, which is also doing very huge research on GMS and then climate research as well. And those of us who love to hear more about KNUST, we are doing aerospace engineering. It's also another aspect of space science too. And they also offer meteorology and climate science program right from the BSc to the PhD level. So if you're also interested in knowing more about the weather and knowing more about the meteorology, you can also engage and apply to study at KNUST. And All Nations University College in Koforidua, if you recently heard about they launched a satellite into space, and they were the first to design and launch a satellite into space. So they collaborated with the Japanese to launch our first satellite into space, and that was I mean, that was a big thing that happened to Ghana. We look forward to to launch more satellites, and that's why we need a lot of people to come together. Yeah, and there's also okay. They are also the first to design an amateur satellite ground station tool, which they use for research purposes. And we have the University of Energy and the Natural Resources. They are doing the GeoNetCat ground receiving station that they've built. They are working with other stakeholders like the forestry departments. They are using it to monitor our coastal lines and also to monitor our forest. I mean, currently you'll be hearing about the illegal mining activity that is ongoing. So we can use the skills in space science to help some of these challenges. So we also have the AIMS, which is the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Ghana. They are also offering climate change and atmospheric physics, which Dr. Nana Brown Kluche has been spearheading some of these studies. Yeah, she's in the space weather. Yeah, so if anyone is interested in, engaging in space science and activities, because mostly we decide to want to go outside to get more knowledge, but we shouldn't forget that we have other local expertise who are there who can also train us and equip us as well, because some of these scholarships are very competitive and it's quite challenging getting some of these scholarships. Yeah, but if you are able to train locally, it also helps as well. And recently the Academic City College also started a robotic engineering program as well. So if you are also interested in learning about robotics and machine learning and others, you can also get yourself enrolled in Academic City College. Yeah, so I'm just trying to draw attention so that people would
Mm-hmm.
then know that there are other privileges or there are other opportunities out there in Ghana locally that people can take opportunity apart from going diaspora to to get scholarship and funding. There are in Ghana too. we have equally good people who are very good in what they are doing as well. Yeah. In terms of space education and then research too, we have the space science, the space research with the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory. Yeah, they are also doing, space science research, and currently they also have like a weather station there, and they are doing a lot of space research over there. One of the activities that they are also doing in terms of space education is also the Ghana Radio Astronomy clubs for schools. So they have formed different clubs in schools trying to reach them, motivate and then encourage them as well. And we have these are other opportunities out there. This is the Development in Africa Research Astronomy, DARA, and then the Newton Fund. And what they do is that they are preparing students for postgraduate studies. And they recently did their call. I think they've already absorbed them. And next year, they will also be absorbing other people. So they select 10 people, then they train in Ghana. Then they train them for the basic training. Then they have other advanced training. That is when you can then do your master's and then your PhD level. Yeah, and they have huge funds like this for postgraduate studies, and they have SKA bursaries, which is the SKA, the bigger project that we are all looking forward for. So the SKA is one big project, and the whole idea of the SKA is that the Square Kilometer Array. We are trying to build telescopes. We are trying to build a telescope to form. So the bigger the telescope, the more you are able to see further. Okay, so we are trying to build telescopes in different countries in Africa. Yeah, and then you form like a square kilometer array. So for the Africa one, that's what we call the AVN, the African Very Long Baseline Interferometric Network. And then that will also form the square kilometer array. So that we look forward to have one in Ghana, one in Mauritius, one in Zambia, one in Kenya, one in Madagascar, and all the African countries. So that when we are all observing one object at the same time, then we can then do most of the studies. I will not be going in detail into that, but these are, unique science principles that help us to see further. And we are hoping that if we are able to finish this big project, there are a lot of things that we still don't know within our universe about black holes, about dark matter, dark energy, about our universe that we don't know. So we are hoping that once we're able to build a square kilometer array, it will help us to resolve some of these things that we don't see with our eyes. So that's just the whole idea. We are building telescopes with the capacity to help us to see more. So just imagine that if you have like a golf on the moon, and you have a telescope that you can see with it, that would be amazing. Or be able to even see through the black hole. So these are some of the things that the SKA seeks to answer. And another thing is extraterrestrial intelligence. They're also searching for extraterrestrial intelligence. Most of the scientists, we think we are not alone in our universe, and obviously we can't be alone in our universe, because like I told you, if we have almost about 100 billion trillion stars out there, and each of these stars are surrounded by two or more planets. So that means there are more planets than stars. So obviously we cannot be alone. Yeah, there are other living creatures, or maybe they might not look like us, or maybe they might not be so much like us. Yeah, but we try to send signals to them, or we try to receive signals from them. So that's what we're studying. That's for the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Yeah, so we are trying to build telescopes to see some of these things. We also will go for outreach, which is the PRACSAC outreach that I've also been involved with. I showed a picture of one of the outreach that we went through. And in Ghana, we have the Ghana Planetarium Science Center. They also organize seminars for school and also for the public, and they've been one of the oldest who have been pushing space science, and yeah, so these guys are doing amazing things. So if you have time, you can visit them. You go and see the amazing things that they are doing. Sarah and her group, they are doing amazing work over there too. Yeah, and yeah. So
let me come in here. You
all
mentioned
right.
that space science is quite broad, but basically, what are some of the requirements? For example, if I want to be a space scientist, what should I study in school before I can go ahead to be a space scientist?
Yeah, all right. So that's a very good question, and when we interact with most of, that is the usual question that we usually have. But I will say that because I know people who were just doing who are like what they call it, um, I mean, irrespective of the course that you are doing, you can play a role in space science. Okay. However, if you are in the science field, then you can then get much more involved in the research. Yeah. So in the science field, either you are in biology, now we have astrobiology. I mean, people are still looking for extraterrestrial intelligence. We are looking for biological features in other planets as well. So you can do astrobiology. If you do computer science, trust me, that is a bigger thing now. You can be able to get yourself involved in most of the research that you are doing in space science. If you do physics, then indeed you are more than welcome to the field. You can do astrophysics. If you are doing chemistry, you can do astrochemistry, which is now the big thing ongoing currently. If you're even a lawyer, now you have a branch which is called, I mean, the space lawyer, and that is a big thing coming. So if you want to know more about space, you can branch into space law. If you are doing project management, you can get involved in doing space science, which related to project management. Usually, I don't want to even focus on most of like the sciences, because in the sciences you can fit within almost everywhere. More all the sciences that you are doing, mathematics, people can get themselves involved in space science because we are doing is mathematics. Almost every field that you are doing, trust me, geology, you can fit in. Yeah, and the good thing is that if we have this kind of interdisciplinary, it's space science is very interdisciplinary. Wherever you fall yourself in, even if you're doing languages, you can still fall within the space science sector. Yeah, so usually I do present on the Space Duration Advisory Council, and we have different project works that we are doing. And when you look at those project works, you'll find out that it fits within all aspects, all discipline, all discipline. Yeah, all discipline. But like I'm saying, if you are in the sciences, then you can get more detail into the research component. But I mean, every field that you are, you can still get yourself engaged in. Yeah, but once you know computing, then I think that is now the bigger thing now, computing. Yeah, so we do a lot of computing. Although I mean, I'm doing astrophysics here, but I'm still doing a lot of computing because I mean that is now the bigger picture now. Yeah, so I mean, irrespective of
Your
any field that
background.
your background, you can still fit within the space science and then the astronomy. Yeah, but to do astronomy, it depends on, even if you are doing electronics, you can still fit within almost every field, because we have the instrumentation aspect, and instrumentation is a whole thing. We have people who are doing welding currently. When we're building when we're renovate when we're what do we call, when we're converting the Ghana ground telescope satellite to the radio telescope. We had a lot of people from different background. We have people who were welders, we have people who are doing electronics, we have different, all the aspects of the engineering. They can all fit within. You can get the instrumentation aspect alone is very serious. Yeah, because scientists are pushing engineers to their limits. Yeah, because we want to see something and we can do our calculation and everything. Now we need engineers to build this thing for us. Yeah, so that is something. So every field that you are in, trust me, you can play a role in space science
Science.
and
Okay.
astronomy. Yeah.
Let me read some of the comments here and then you
All right,
continue.
great.
So we have Martin Osumensa saying Africa is blessed to have Mr. Ahenkora-Duodu. Keep soaring higher. And Fred Haiti. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it properly. That is my space scientist right there. He's also a seaman. And Anabonsu says this is so educative. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for your comments. So, Mr. Hinkra, you have mentioned so many things that you are doing. You and aside all this, you are a student, also a PhD student or PhD researcher, and then you are lecturing as well. So, how are you able to do all these things? I mean, we all have 24 hours, and you see how it runs. So, how are you able to do all these things?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is. Yeah, so I'm a Christian, so I'll just say that, like Paul said, I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. So the whole thing is that if you have the zeal and then the desire, you can do everything, but you need to be very time conscious. Okay, you need to be very time conscious how you manage your time, and how you, and some of these things, I'm not doing it alone. You build a team around you. Yeah, so you build a team around you. Then if you are the lead, you try as much as possible to delegate some of these responsibilities to them, and get everybody engaged on board. Yeah. So most of the thing that I'm doing is part time, but my main like total work is on my PhD. That's what I'm actually doing now. So as you can see, I'm in the office now for my work now. Yeah, yeah. So I always believe that PhD is not just about your research, but it is also having an impact on in your society. Yeah. So and also try as much as possible to network and get a lot of people involved in the field that you find yourself in. Yeah. So if any opportunity comes and you think your timing is, I mean, we look at your timing, you can still fit within, then you just go for it. Yeah. And most of the thing that I get myself involved with, they'll specify like the time, like the time that they will need from me. Yeah. So, and I try as much as possible to push some of them to after my usual PhD research, which is from 9 to 5. Then after that, then I can then do most of my meetings and others. I also engage with a lot of people to write papers together as well. Like I was saying, once you build yourself with that community, you can then work virtually with almost, I mean, everybody in the whole world. Yeah. So I think Corona virus has taught us a lot. And one of the
Mm,
key things that I thought that we can sit here and be doing work with everyone around the whole world.
mhm.
Yeah. So you just get yourself with a strong team, and trust me, you can do everything.
Everything. Wow. Martin has a question for you.
All right.
So, yeah, he wants to know how African research is contributing to dark matter research, which happens to be a big thing now.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Okay, how African research is contributing to dark matter research.
Um, okay, so I'll once again say that astronomy, which is one of the oldest science, is somehow new in other African countries. Apart from South Africa, I mean, who they've been doing astronomy for a very long time. Like I said, Ghana, we are the very, I mean, first batch to be trained in astronomy. Yeah, but other African countries, most of them they're just starting. And as you may be aware of, you don't even have a BSc in astronomy or an MSc in astronomy. Unlike the other African country, other European countries that they have BSc and an MSc and then PhD in the field. Yeah, so now the focus is on the SKA, and most of the African countries they have their own targets what they want to do. So depending on the field that you find yourself in, or your interest, your research interest, that is where maybe you will research into. Yeah, and for dark matter, I don't know anyone actually who is doing something in dark matter per se, but I know a lot of people who are doing other, I mean, other field, because astronomy is very broad. Trust me, it's very broad. Even we have the planetary science, it's a huge one. People are doing galaxies, people are doing exogalaxies. These people are doing even for the planetary science, we have different aspects of the planetary science, different aspects. We those who are doing star formation, there are also different aspects of star formation. Yeah, so it's very broad. It's actually very broad. So for dark matter, I actually don't know anyone, but trust me, we are also contributing our quota as well. And the whole thing is that we really need people who are experts, or people who have been able to get the expertise outside to come back to Ghana or in African countries to also start up some of these programs and projects in Ghana, so that they can enroll a lot of students and a lot of researchers in the field. With that, we can cover most of the things. For astronomy, there are a lot of things that we don't know. So it's a very open field that we need a lot of people in this field. Yeah, so the more we get a lot of people, the more we broaden most of the scope of the research that we are currently doing. Yeah, so there is a vast thing that we are doing, but the good thing is that I'll be touching on is that African Union has taken up some of these things, and that is what I was actually coming to talk about with the Ghana space policy. And the African Union is we know that they're currently bringing the African Space Agency, and once they bring the African Space Agency, which I think Ghana, we sent a bid, but unfortunately we were not selected. Egypt won the bid, so they will be hosting the headquarters at in Egypt. And once everything is set, then there will be a much focus on space science and then astronomy research. And I'm sure with that they will get a lot of funding in the field, so that you don't need to travel. Even if you travel, there will be funding opportunities available for some students to make good use of, and then the scope of the research can then be broadened as well. Yeah, so that's a good thing coming on board once we know that now Africa is taking space science and then astronomy very seriously. So I think there is a bright future ahead of everybody who is involved in space science as well.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
For Martin again, are there plans of directly establishing radio astronomy courses in Ghana?
I mean, that's a very good question, and that is something that some of us we've always been pushing for. Currently, we have University of Ghana. We had two people, who enrolled in their PhD in astronomy, and what they do is that we have other external like external supervisors, maybe from Leeds or from other universities outside Ghana, and they will have somebody also on the grounds in Ghana who will be supervising them. Yeah, currently that is the only way out now. Yeah, and but we are still working. Most of us who are being trained, that's what we hope to achieve. That after our training, we will come back and start up maybe a BSc or an MSc in astronomy or the space science. Yeah, so I actually showed some of the schools currently who are doing, and I know K University is currently working. I know, K University is trying to push for like a space science or astronomy department, but the whole idea is about the human resources. That is our main challenge. Even if you set up everything and you don't have the human capacity to, or people with that expertise to train people locally, it will still be a challenge. So the whole thing is that we want to train a lot of people in the field, and hopefully they will come back and then engage in others, and then maybe engage with the university directly. Maybe if they will absorb us as lecturers, then we will then come back and probably get some funds to get some students on board as well. Yeah, so there is this long-term plan. Currently, we have a lot of people in Ghana for the basic training. I think we've trained almost more than 100 people for the basic training. Yeah, but advanced training is where you need more funding to get a master's or a PhD, and we are hoping that, some of us who have been trained, when we come back, there will be available lectureship position for us. Then we can then start up something locally. Yeah, but most of these trainings, we're trying to collaborate with the universities directly, like the University of Ghana. We are collaborating with them directly. The Ghana Space Science and Technological Institute is also another field, because they are spearheading most of the space activities in Ghana. Yeah, and that is something that we are looking forward to do. So yeah, it's a long-term plan, and hopefully it will be actualized.
Wow, great. And
Please feel free.
and Martin says Ghana cannot pay you with all your expenses.
No, it's not like it's not like over here they pay them very huge, of course. Yeah, but the whole thing is that once you get your, and like I was saying, COVID has taught us, a lot, that you don't even need to even come to Ghana to still impart knowledge. Last 2 years or 3 years, I was in Ghana to support with the Dara training. Yeah, like the basic training. Yeah, but because of the COVID, now most of the people who are supporting the training, they are not in Ghana. They are supporting remotely. Yeah, so there are other ways that if the universities, because that is what over here most of them are doing currently. They are enrolling in masters and then PhD, and it's virtual. So if I think there should be a way out with some of these things, but it's not about money. If it's just the opportunity, which is the opportunity comes, and I'm sure most of us will take it. And we are just hoping that the lecturers are pushing forth in Ghana here. If the government will increase
Yes, yes,
government will increase their
yes.
money to be good.
We hope that
Yeah, that
we
would
do
be very
something about
encouraging.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, over here, I mean, they pay, I mean, very well. So just imagine if someone should get any position over here, that he's being paid very well, and he's coming back to Ghana, and I mean, comparing the pay, it's kind of demotivating people. Yeah, but
Wow,
some of us are so keen that we want to come back to Ghana and
to give
help
back.
support
Mm,
and give back to the society as well. Yeah, I'm hoping that
that's good.
a lot of the colleagues will also come, just like Martin was
Mm-hmm.
trained in France, and
Mm-hmm.
he's back. So hopefully, some of us
Yeah.
will go back as well to support.
Well, I think we would have to do part two of this because there's so
Oh, that is good.
much.
Yeah, maybe I'll just touch on some of these few things about the Ghana
Few
space science,
things.
and I
Yeah,
mean,
before
I'll be
you
done. I'll be done. Yeah,
go.
so we have the Ghana space policy
Oh,
that we've actually submitted this to cabinet for approval, and that is the good thing coming on board. If you have the Ghana space strategy and space policy documents, which if the government should push forth, I mean, this will be very great. And most of the guys are from the African space policy that has been already been implemented, and the whole idea is to promote a well coordinated and then to monitor the space science and technology programs in Ghana.
mhm.
And the whole idea is to promote the local and international cooperation for the peaceful use of outer space. And to sum it all, we have the implementation plan, which is actually being prepared by the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and then Innovation. And the main idea is to establish the Ghana Space Agency and also get the funding to support the Ghana Space Agency. So if this should go through, then trust me, they will, then they can even, then we don't even need to even come back to Ghana as lecturers. We can come back to Ghana as researchers and be working with the Ghana Space Agency, and we can still be teaching as well. Because the research over here, if you are attached with a research facility, you can still be able to still lecture, just like the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. Most of the researchers they still lecture as well. Yeah, so I think there is a very good well laid down plan for Ghana in the near future. And I'll always encourage each and everyone who is interested in space science. They can contact me if you are interested in any of these, and we can talk more and engage. I mean, further. And I look forward to engaging anybody, anyone who is interested in knowing more about space science in Ghana and in Africa and also in the world. Yeah, thanks so much.
Wow. Thank you so much. Today's session has been
Oh,
so educative, so informative also. Thank you so much
oh
for
yeah.
your time. Yeah, so what will be your final words? I know you have said it all, but if there's anything left, you can share with us and then yeah.
Yeah, I think my final words will be don't undermine yourself. Okay, know that you can do everything. Once again, I'm a Christian, so I'll say that you can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. But first of all, to do that, you need to plan and
Mm-hmm.
try and get people who are ahead of you. Mentorship is a very key thing. Yeah, I mentor a lot of people, but I still have people that I also look up to, and they're also still coaching me. Yeah, so irrespective of wherever you are, you need people who will get you to where you want to be, and also surround yourself with people. I mean, who will motivate you, give you good advice, and they will always encourage you. And I'm sure together we will get there. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time and all these nuggets that you've shared with us. So if you're interested in space science, please do contact Mr. Ahenkora and then also check out all the sites and organizations that he mentioned. And thank you so much, viewers, for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do and see you in our next episode. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, teacher, for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.